organized by Delhi Kannada Education Society and Delhi Kannada Senior Secondary School. First of all, I welcome today's great speaker, Shivakumar Natarajan. He is a well-known international wildlife photographer. On behalf of the Delhi Kannada Senior Secondary School, warm welcome you, sir. I also welcome Dr. M.S. Shashikumar, Manager of Delhi Kannada Senior Secondary School, for organizing all the science series of lecture. Behind the brain is a sir only. On behalf of the school, welcome you, sir. I would also welcome principals, vice principals, teachers from Bharatiya Vidya Bhavan Mehta School, Andhra Education Society, Kerala School to this program. Lastly, I would also welcome teaching and non-teaching faculty of Delhi Kannada School, the students, and also other participants participated in this program also. Welcome to this wonderful session also. Thank you one and all.
Now I sincerely request respected Dr. M.S. Shashikumar sir, who is our worthy manager and patron of this entire series of experts lectures, to say a few words and introductory speech, sir.
Good evening to all of you. Before I introduce today's eminent speaker, who is working extensively on the behavioral biology of tiger, their social life, and their interaction with the fellow fauna inside the reserves or the natural forest, and their behavior in maintaining their territory. Quite often they have the territorial fights. Also, how they treat their offsprings. He is a pioneer in this. I am very happy and glad that he will be addressing and delivering to all the young minds who are tomorrow's future. Before I go into the introduction of today's speaker, I'll give a small background of how we started this journey. The Delhi Kannada Senior Secondary School, under its science committee, started series of science lectures on various branches like environmental science, ecological sciences, plant sciences, animal sciences, chemical sciences, physical sciences, microbiology and biotechnology, and still varied aspects, connecting all the experts in the field to the students who will be desiring to shape their future or the career, taking interest in the basic sciences as well as the applied sciences. And also, agar scientific temper in the younger minds to take up career in science so that they will stay connected with the nature. In this direction, our committee headed by Shri Vasanta Shetty Bellare, President, and myself, and the Honorable Principal Prashant Kumar Sir, along with the Science Committee, we have a Science Advisory Committee comprising of various experts working in various reputed national institutes like Department of Science and Technology, Delhi Technological University, who guide us quite often on how to go about and how to conduct events, which is apt for the children to agar the scientific temper in them. So we had conducted a lot of lecture. We started this academic year with the celebration of International Bee Day, where Professor Rangaswamy, Register VTU, addressed on the social behavior of honeybees and the importance of honeybees to the humankind. Second, we had the World Environment Day celebration, where we had two different speakers. One, Professor Ramakrishnaya, who is the Registrar Maharani Cluster University, and also Professor Gopinath from Department of Biotechnology, Davangere University. So like that, we proceeded again in a lecture on conservation of lakes in various metros and cities by Professor Venugopal, retired professor of SGR College, Bangalore. Later on, we moved on. We had some lectures from chemistry like metal corrosion, corrosiveness. Then we had drugs. What are the useful and harmful effects of drugs by using it, from a professor, Navneet Kalra madam from Dayal Singh College, I think. So we have been conducting such series of lectures to agar the scientific temper in the younger minds. And they want to know, basically we are targeting the students from 9th to 12th, wherein they should, at this pandemic hour where everywhere online classes has been happening, away from it, to help them to learn, know, and also gain interest towards each field other than their curriculum. So in today's lecture, we have one of the prominent and international renowned photographer on tigers, Shiv Kumar, who is very close to me and a younger brother, close friend. We had a lot of good times in Bangalore when I was in Bangalore. I will be briefing. Words are just mere. He is above all this because he has dedicated his career to this out of passion. Although he doesn't belong to this fraternity, his passion has brought him here and he has done wonders. And I also watch that he gets more accolades and awards of national and international repute, which he will definitely get it, because the dedication, sincerity, and hard working has been put behind studying the various aspects of this national animal tiger is commendable. He is a dedicated and energetic photographer with decade and a half experience, traveled extensively across length and breadth of Indian continent, and has won many national and international photography acceptances, recognitions, and awards. He is very competent in capturing high quality images. He conducts classes, teaches photography, and also organizes photo tours across India. He is very conversant with different types of photography, including wildlife, nature, portraits, medical and fashion photography. In-depth knowledge of working with advanced photography equipment and tools. Served, here I'm giving a slight twist, he has served almost 2 decades in many reputed corporates and banking and financial sector, and finally found their calling in the greens where their souls were. He is basically into banking and financial sector. Have major lookout is to unravel the mysteries of the wildlife and share it to the like-minded people who are equally passionate about the wildlife. To further elaborate, there should not be any better way to meet people with similar passion and share with the experience and skills. He believes in learning and sharing knowledge with the world. The efforts is to make difference by spreading awareness about the tiger conservation and also bringing the wild one step closer to its admirers and lovers. He started Spots and Stripes organization for the people who are passionate about wildlife. Spots and Stripes is a wildlife photography and travel company, which not only has expertise, but has years of experience. This experience has been derived from own travels and photo journey for many years. Spots and Stripes is proud of being experts at organizing wildlife tours to many destinations across India, and also engage in training photography, which includes classroom session and also field training. Some of his major achievements are: he has been conducting solo wildlife photo exhibition at Chitrakala Parishad in Bangalore, wildlife photography exhibition 2018 and 19 at Chitrakala Parishad, Bangalore, in association with Rotary Club Bangalore, where all the sale proceeds of the wildlife photographs have been donated to Rotary Club for a particular cause. Ended in top 10 in NatWin International Wildlife Photo Exhibitions 2017 and 18, held at Chitrakala Parishad, Bangalore. He is a part of NLC International Wildlife Photography Exhibition 2017 and 18 in Calcutta, West Bengal. Winner of High Jolful Wildlife Photography Exhibition 2019 and part if Wildlife Photography Exhibition 2021 in Kolkata. One of the exhibitors at Best of the Best Photo Exhibition conducted by Indian Renowned Photography Club, YPS, held at Bangalore. He has held a unique photography exhibition set up in the outdoors, celebrating the Bannerghatta National Park's keystone species, the charismatic Bengal tiger and the magnificent Asian elephant at a Rocha Inia, Bannerghatta, Bangalore. He has exhibited wildlife photos under the name Beautiful India in Russia, part of celebrating Indian independence. This is a very short brief of him. There is a lot more to his accolades and lot more to his back. We want to hear and see what he will be delivering to us, and it is a privilege, and also we are lucky to have him seeing all the live in front of us. Thank you very much. I welcome Shiv Kumar for this beautiful session where he will be delivering all his experiences towards wildlife photography, especially tiger conservation. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. M.S. Sashi Kumar, sir. Now I request today's eminent speaker, respected Shri Shiv Kumar Natarajan, sir, kindly start the program, sir.
Oh, thank you, Dr. Shashi, and one and all. So without any delay, I'll start. I'll be sharing some of the one of the PPT, which consists of some of the images, videos, and data. Okay. So here we start. Most of the national parks in India have boards like this, where it says that nobody can assure you a tiger sighting, or perhaps the visitors would have not seen the tigers, but the tigers would have seen you. Most of the times, these boards are very true. But if a layman who is entering into the forest will find the tiger if they see some of the identification marks which are left by the tigers. Okay, when a layman enters the tiger safari, they can see the trees with these marks. People can see there are a lot of marks of the tree bark. So these are the marks when tiger urinate on the trees. Tiger urinate on the trees to mark their territory. Next, the tiger claw marks on the teeth. So these claw marks also the mark of the territory of the tigers. When we enter into the forest, most commonly seen animal is langur or monkeys. So these are called as the security guard for the forest. Whenever there is a movement of a tiger, these langurs or monkeys will make a unique sound, which is very loud, and the people who are traveling in the tiger reserves can easily make out about the movement of tigers. These loud calls sound like
You have not shared the presentation yet, Anna,
I've shared the presentation, Shashi.
but it is not visible.
It's not visible. One second. Let me. Now,
The first only, no problem.
Now visible.
now
Yes,
visible.
yes, quite visible. Okay.
Now visible.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Was visible.
Okay. So this is the tree where I was talking about with the urine marks of the tiger. When tiger urinates, it marks its territory by urinating on the trees. Similarly, these are the claw marks on the tree barks. Again, these are the
ಎಲ್ಲ ಸ್ಕೂಲ್ ನಾವು ಕಳಿಸಿದ್ರೆ ಕೇಳ್ಬೇಕಷ್ಟೇ.
these are the markings by the tigers. So the langurs are the commonly seen animal in the tiger forest. So langurs always makes a unique call, which sounds like
भेज दिया फिर क्यों नहीं भेज रहे हो? कितना काम है सर, इतने इजी एड्रेस ढूंढना पड़ेगा अभी. एड्रेस नहीं है तो कर सकते.
Sir, please mute.
Principal sir, please
हाँ.
mute yourself. The session is going on.
सर दूसरा भी है सर, सब्जेक्ट वाइज.
Hello. मेरा मोबाइल है. Hello.
सर सॉरी.
shall I?
Yes, sir. Please carry on.
Okay. The langurs are the commonly seen animals in the Indian forest. And when there is a movement of a tiger, langur gives a loud and unique call, which sounds like so that is the call from a langur, which indicates that there is a movement of a predator. Most of the time, that call is for the tigers. So next commonly seen animal in the Indian forest are spotted deers and sambars. The call from a sambar is considered as the perfect call if there is a movement of a tiger, and sambar call is like and apart from these two calls, the tiger pug marks, either on a wet land or on a soft soil, these pug marks will definitely help any individual to find a tiger. With all these things, we can find a tiger, which is something like this.
Don't skip.
The tigers are the largest living cat species from the genus Panthera, and they are scientifically called Panthera tigris. It is the most recognizable by its vertical stripes on an orange-brown fur with lighter white in the underside. The tiger was first scientifically described in the year 1758, and since 1986, the tigers are under endangered list. There were 9 different species of tigers: Sumatran, Siberian tiger, Royal Bengal tiger, South China tiger, Malayan tiger, and Indo-Chinese tiger are under endangered list. And Bali tiger, Javan tiger, and Caspian tigers are already extinct. As of 2015, the global tiger population was estimated around 3,915 mature tigers living in wild. Okay, the tigers are the national animal of India, and this was declared in 1973. And apart from India, Bangladesh, Malaysia, and South Korea also have tiger as their national animal. Lions are the national animal for 19 different countries across the globe. After lion, I think tiger have the highest number, being the national animal. And everybody knows that tigers are highly territorial animal. Even though the tigers are very territorial, they have a very good social life. Tiger share their forest or their home with the other giants like elephants, as seen in this particular image. Apart from elephant, they also share their territory with leopard, sloth bear, jackals, and wolves, wild dogs. All those animals, the tigers share their territory. The average lifespan of a tiger is 12 to 18 years, and in wild they live between 8 to 10 years, and in captivity it's 18 to 20 years. The male tiger grows between 2.5 to 4 meters in length, and female is little small and they grow between 2 to 3 meters in length. The male tiger weigh up to 310 kilos and female weigh around 180 to 200 kilos. The minimum average territory by a male tiger is covered between 15 to 20 square kilometers, and there was a tiger which was covering up to 150 square kilometers. And female covers a little smaller area compared to male. The minimum average territory is around 15 square kilometers, and they cover up to 100 square kilometers on a higher scale. The pug mark of a male is big, square in shape, and there are more space between the toes and the paws. Okay, the female have a vertical, rectangular pug mark, and the space between the toes and the paws are very little. When we are talking about the tiger, the 3,900 odd tiger, the numbers what we refer, those are the adult tigers which lives in the wild. The tiger reaches the adulthood by 20 or 24 months, and female reaches the sexual maturity by the 3.5 year to 4 years of time, and the male matures by 4 and 5 years of age. Usually, the female may frequent vocalization throughout the day to attract the male for the mating, and this calling will go for 5 to 6 days. And this is how the female calls. So when female walks for 5 to 6 days with this vocalization, and it also make her presence felt by urinating on the trees, and male recognize these females presence by a phlegm response. The phlegm response by male is something like this. So it keeps its tongue out and smells from the tree. This phlegm response is nothing but smelling in a high definition. Okay. After the phlegm response, or by attracting the male by the vocalization, the male and the female catch up and the courtship starts. This is the only period, the courtship is the only period when male and female tigers stay together, and they stay together for 4 to 5 days. And their mating is in very brief, and in this 4 to 5 days, they mate around 200 to 250 times. That means once in every 30 to 35 minutes. And I have also seen that they mate as frequently as 5 to 7 minutes. So even though the tigers can mate throughout the year, but most of the tigers chooses winter for mating. After the successful mate, the male tiger leaves the female and goes for his territory. The female tigers give birth after a gestation period of 3 to 4 months. Normally, the female gives birth to 2 to 3 cubs, but the instances are there where the female tigers have delivered up to 5 cubs. When the cubs are born, they will be weighing around 1 to 1.25 kilos, and it takes 2 weeks for them to see the whole world. Till the for the first 15 days, they will be blind. Mother takes the cubs out of the den or the bushes only after they are 3 to 4 months old. And the tigress spends 70% of its time in taking care of these tiny cubs. The only time during the first 8 to 10 months of the cub, when the mother is away from the cubs, or when they go out for hunting. The tigers mainly rely on their sense of sight and hear rather than the sense of smell. They cautiously stalk the prey, and most of the time it attacks from the rear side of the prey, so that the unsuspecting the prey all the time. The tigers kill once in 5 to 7 days for the cubs. If the cubs grows and there are more mouth to feed, the hunting will happen between 3 to 4 days. Here I would like to show you a small clipping of a video which was shot in Tadoba, where the tiger has made a kill on the previous day on a lake. And on the other side of a safari track, the cubs were there. And this is how the mother took the food to the cubs. Go. Sir? Hello? ಇಲ್ಲ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಇದೆ ವಿಡಿಯೋ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಇದೆ So that was Sonam. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. You are audible.
Okay, thank you. That was tigers called Sonam from Tadoba, who made a kill on the previous day, the sambar on the lake side, and on the next day morning, she dragged the carcass from the lake to the her cubs on the other side of the safari track. The entire sequence took around 2 hours, but I think I could manage that only in 20 minutes. Okay, when the mother is gone out for a hunt or for water, the cubs stays together during the first few months of their birth. So that was the time when they strengthen their bond. As they grow up, they start venturing out. So they start spending their time mostly by playing or doing mock fights, familiarizing with the territory of their mother, and all these things will come handy as they grow up. And even the mother trying the cubs to hunt, and the mother takes the cubs for the hunting, and she performs stalking and killing as they look on. They will learn the technique of imitating her mother in the later years. Then she brings down the animal, but do not kill the animal, and brings it to the cubs so that they can finish the kill and start eating it. And there are also instances where the mother kills a fawn by drowning it inside the water. So these are the things which mother teaches the cubs to how to survive. As the cubs grow, they start fighting within themselves for the territory, and the loser will have to leave the territory and go. And there are instances where the cubs fight with their mothers, and mother loses the territory, and the sub-adult or the young tigers will take the territory area. The rule of the tiger or rule of the jungle says that whoever loses have to leave the places. There are instances where there was no fight happened between the mother and the cub, or cub did not venture out for a new territory, and very remote cases where the mother leaves the territory for their young ones and goes out and start a new life in the new territory. So this is the small how the tiger lifespan goes on. And now if we come towards the International Tiger Day, why do we celebrate the International Tiger Day on June 29? The answer is, in the year 2010, in St. Petersburg, there was a summit which where the importance of presence of tiger was discussed. The importance of 29th July is to create an awareness of the declining population of tiger and conserving the tigers globally. And 2021's International Tiger Day's slogan is "Their survival in our hands." Personally, I have not seen, I have not heard such a sad slogan anywhere saying that their survival in our hands, but that's the truth as of now. Why it all says in our hands, and why is there presence of tigers is very important? I'll just tell you. In India, the present distribution of tigers are on small remote pockets, okay, and the larger landscapes of these tiger reserves are with human habitat. Whenever a tiger enters the human contact or the landscape, they pose a great threat for the livestock and people also. Even though the people in India are very tolerant compared to some of the other parts of the global, but conflict situation, the local antagonism against tigers often erupts, and this leads to a serious problem. Conflict with human is largely restricted at the only to the edge of the protected areas, but with some multiple use forests, the problem of human tiger conflicts is always there. So because of the tiger areas are in small isolated pockets with larger human habitat around it, it is always the problem or the threat is for the tigers only. Here, the first image, we can see that the road passing through a forest. Actually, it's a state highway passing through a forest where the lot of movement of vehicles are happening. Second thing happened in Madhya Pradesh, where it was on a buffer area where the tiger was killed by the people, and snaring is the main another cause. And all these conflicts happen because of tiger killing the livestock or accidental killing of human by tigers and man-eating behavior of tigers. Killing of livestock. Tiger kill domestic animals is the main cause for the conflict between human and tiger. Whenever the tiger enters the human population, they normally target the livestock for two reasons. So the first reason, when the tiger have cubs, these livestock like cattle, sheep, whatever it is, they're very good food for the younger ones. So that is one main reason during the or just after the gestation period, the tigers come to the human habitat and take these livestock. Second one, when the tigers are pretty old and when they do not hunt in the core areas, they lose their territory to an younger or a brave tiger. They move on to the buffer area. The buffer area is the area which holds the spillover from the core areas and also have a human habitat in that. So these are the main reasons why the livestock is killed by tigers in the buffer area. Whatever said and done, that 12% of the livestock normally killed by the tiger. And human is the accidental killing of human. Even though the tigers do not consider human as their food, but the accidental killing, which is very rare, but that very rare is another main cause of the conflict between, human and tiger. Man-eating behavior is extremely extremely rare phenomena in human and tiger conflicts, but that is the third main reason which cannot be rolled out. And the legal issues of wildlife management in India is carried out under the Wildlife Protection Act of 1972, which is strongly preserving the trust. The act makes it virtually illegal to kill any wildlife animal or capture any wildlife animal. Even though the capture and removal of problematic tigers, it is very difficult to move from the core or from the buffer area or even from the human habitat. Sometimes people try to capture the problematic tigers and move it away from the spot of conflict because this approach was widely socially acceptable. However, such translations are rarely practical and do not have a satisfactory conservational outcome. The free-ranging tiger population, it is rarely possible to identify the actual problematic tiger and removal of the tiger from that place unless it enters the human settlements and starts repeatedly entering and starts injuring both the man and the cattle around him. And wild tigers do not adopt well in the captivity or when they relocate to the different areas. And even the Indian zoos are not have that capacity to hold any tigers. So for this particular loss for the man or for his livestock, the compensatory payments are there, but this financial aid will not suffice the loss for the victim's family. So why does this tiger killing is happening? Major thing is the tigers are not tradable commodity. At the beginning of 20th century, there were around 1 lakh tigers, but as on today, we have only 3,000 wild tigers. This abrupt decrease in the population of the tigers was largely due to slaughtering of tigers by the colonial and Indian during the British period, and indeed following in the Indian independence for their skin. The fully grown adult tiger skin can sell up to 65 million rupees. That's a huge ransom. And protecting tiger in India had become hailed to a great success until it was discovered, and initial counts of tiger has been seriously brought down. So when the tigers were numbers were diminishing, then India started a Project Tiger. The Project Tiger is a conservational program which was launched by Mrs. Indira Gandhi, the Prime Minister of India, in the year 1973. The Project Tiger had an intention to increase the tiger population in its natural habitat, protecting the tiger forest and preserving the biological importance area was the main motto of Project Tiger. This Project Tiger was administered by NTCA, that is National Tiger Conservation Authority. The NTCA, when its Project Tiger is started, they divided the country into 9 different parts and took action for tiger conservation accordingly. So they divided the Indian subcontinent as Shivalik and Tarai Conservation Unit, Northeast Conservation Unit, Sundarbans, Western Ghats, Eastern Ghats, Central Indian Conservation Unit, Sariska, and Kaziranga Conservation Unit. And now NTCA also decide about the core and the buffer areas. So what is core area? Core area is the area of a tiger reserve which is free from all human activities. It has the legal status of a national park or a wildlife sanctuary. It is kept free from collecting of minor forest products, grazing, and any other human activity. Buffer areas are subjected to the conservational oriental land issues. They compromisation of forest and non-forest land also. They are multi-purpose, and the twin objects providing these areas. That means spillover population of tigers from the core area and also provide eco-development inputs to the surrounding villages for relieving their impact on the core areas. The NTCA was also works on voluntary relocation of the people from the core area. They use information technology in wildlife crime prevention, addressing human wildlife conflicts, developing a national repository of camera traps for the tigers, declaration and consideration in new tiger reserves, and foresting awareness for enlightening the new tiger reserves. Tigers, which are the apex predator, and they also on the top of the food chain. The main food for tigers are herbivorous animal, which are spotted deer, sambar, Indian gaur, and many other small animals. The presence of tigers will keep a check on the behavioral animal, herbivorous animal, which prevents the overgrazing of grass. The overgrazing of grass results in soil erosion. The soil erosion results in deforestation, which leads to a loss of forest area. The loss of forest area reduces the rainfall. The reduced rainfall destroy the ecology, and this increases uncontrollable pollution of water and air. So the tiger will keep a check on all these national problems. How can we protect the tigers? The tigers has to be protected in their natural habitat. We need to build a capacity of ranges in state, reduce human-tiger conflicts, conduct scientific research on tigers to help the conservation, promote tiger-friendly policies, monitor tiger numbers, population trends, spread a word, tell others about the importance of tigers, and be a responsible tourist. This has to be a majority thing. Be a responsible tourist. Voice your concern with the policymakers. If you have anything for the policymakers to consider, please bring it to the notice of NTCA or the local forest department. They definitely will take all these points and help to prevent the wildlife and support tiger protection work. So here I would like to just take a point about the be a responsible tourist. Most of us who visits the national park, we visit as a tourist. Very less of us who travels for the study purpose. And I have seen people traveling in the national parks, and they throw all sort of garbages, everything. And I have a small video where a tiger cub, the cub is around 6-7 months, and it comes with a feeding bottle in its mouth. And I seriously don't know how people can throw a feeding bottle inside the forest. And if they are carrying a baby who drinks with a feeding bottle, I don't know what sort of tourists they are. So I request people who are traveling to any of the national parks or tiger reserves to be a little responsible in their thing. See, the protecting forest is not only the responsibility of the forest department or the guide or the drivers. It is also the responsible of each and every Indian, even as per the Indian Constitution. So I request one and all to be a responsible tourist, and please raise your voice with the policymakers. The another important thing, the most of the forest departments do consider each and every suggestion given by the public. So may not be all of them will come into the part of the policy or the part of the act, but the discussion will definitely happen, because I was part of couple of discussion and we do consider that. And voice your concern with the policymakers. Please write it to NTCA or to any of the forest department considering the place, and they will definitely will do it. And support tiger protection. There are a lot of non-government organization and even the government with Project Tiger are working on the tiger protection. And I request everybody to kindly support the tiger and the tiger protection, because this is going to be sooner. It has to be the huge step has to be taken for the protecting the tigers. If not, with the 3,000 numbers across the globe, I don't think so the next generation have any idea of seeing tigers in wild. So it's a request from my end for protecting the tigers. And I'll just show a small video clipping before I end. These are some of the very famous tigers of India, which I have shot across the different national parks in India. And after that, I'll just open the session. If you have any questions, I'm happy to answer those. So here I'm just giving you a small video. If anybody have any questions, I'm ready to take the questions.
I request audience, if you have any doubt, any question, please ask.
Hello.
Yes, please.
Unmute करो दो इसको. Please put
I
your
have a
question.
question. Hello.
Yes, please.
Yeah, I just have a question.
Yes, ma'am, please.
Yeah, how can a normal citizen say contribute to the I don't say growth, but how to conserve the tigers? How can a normal citizen contribute to conserve tigers?
Madam, conservation of tigers, see, as I already told, we need to protect the areas first. And if we are sorry, ma'am, please go ahead.
Yeah, that's all is my question.
Okay. See, conservation of tiger is a huge thing. Okay. And as I showed you in my PowerPoint as well, we have to be a part of the whole system for starting a conservation of tiger. So we need to be a part in protecting the whole forest. We need to be a part in creation of tiger-friendly rules. We need to be a responsible Indians by spreading the tiger this thing. Plus the especially the human tiger conflicts. What happen in the fringes of forest? There is a lack of understanding or the lack of education in the people about the importance of tigers. Definitely, I understand if somebody loses a cattle or something which is their a part of their livelihood, and the compensation what government now gives is good enough. The earlier it was not that good. Now it is good enough, but getting an awareness in those fringes of forest about the uh, living of tiger is what we have to do it. Now the NTCA plus some of the organizations have really worked really hard to get that particular awareness and bring back in the normal public, and that is really giving us the huge positive numbers. Because if you see that the latest census says that India have 700 plus more tigers, but at the same time we also need to take care of the green belt increase accordingly. So if we maintain that green belt, if we start stop encroaching the forest, increase of the core areas, and stop killing the tigers in the fringes of forest, definitely help in increase in the tiger number.
Thank you. I have one more question. If there is no one else to ask questions, may I proceed with my
Yes, ma'am,
question?
please, not a
Yeah. I've been working as a teacher since many years.
okay.
And how do I bring about this awareness about tigers in the kids who are supposed to be the future of the nation?
Then you are the best person to bring all these thoughts into their small minds.
Yeah, sure.
Or if you want any help, you can directly contact me, and we can chart out a plan, and we can do. I can come and give a presentation in your school kids or something.
Oh, that would be fantastic. It
Definitely.
would be fantastic. Okay. So I can talk to you anytime?
Anytime.
Fine.
Shiku, with your permission, can I elaborate on this?
Yes, sir, please.
Actually, if you have to inculcate in the younger generation about the conservation of tiger, we need to tell the younger lot by means of posters, ask them to prepare posters, presentations, encourage them how important is the tiger in the food chain, in the food web, and also in the triangular pyramid. if you have more of tigers, or if you have more of the whole food chain is divided into producers, consumers. In consumers, it is divided into primary consumers, secondary consumers, and tertiary consumers. Tiger comes in the level of tertiary consumers. So if tiger population is dwindling, if tiger population is going and it is progressively increasing in numbers, that is because we are keeping the land, grasslands especially, the food for the producers, then the producers which have been, or the consumers of the primary and the secondary level, which consume the grass. They are the feed for the tertiary consumers, which is the tiger. And second part, as we humans are always greedy, we invade the forest land, we invade the tiger territory in scouting for firewood, other essentials for living. Although the government of India, Ministry of Environment and Forest, under the aegis where our speaker told the Project Tiger, that was the time when we started thinking, oh, the Bengal tiger also will be extinct one day. So we thought in that lines, and we started this project thanks to the people who had that innovativeness in 1973 itself. In spite of all this, when we see enormous increase in the tiger population, parallelly there is poaching which is going on for their products.
True.
The culprit again is China. China and the Southeast Asian countries, they are fond of all the tiger products, flesh, and even they drink the penny soup of tiger, which is all pennies and also bladder's soup of tiger, which they think it is a medicine for them for sexual arousal. So all these Chinese people, they are behind the poaching of tigers in India. Even the nail, the skin, the teeth, the flesh parts are all these going to be exported, not to be kept in India. And I also had various discussion with the speaker. We had a very good tiger in the Pench area. I don't know, Jai, in Umred, I think.
Umred.
Yeah, he was a huge and massive male tiger. You cannot imagine the robustness of that male tiger. I will tell you. If you keep two tigers together, it is of one size. He was so huge. One day, all of a sudden, he is nowhere found. What is the reason? Where is he gone? Either he would have died in territorial fight, or he would have been killed by poachers. The answers still we are pondering of. Like this, there are a lot of issues where for our greediness, we are making the whole environment in a chaos. So in the present scenario, I think Shiv Kumar will agree with that in all the tiger reserves, the population is increasing, which is a positive side. Right now I'm telling. Even I saw in papers that in Kaziranga, Assam also, the tiger population has increased. Even in Tadoba, as well as the Umred, Bandhavgarh, Ranthambore, Sariska, Corbett, all the tiger population of increasing. That is, they are getting ample number of food with good environment. You might find somewhere human tiger conflict. That will be there. As long as human venture into the tiger area or a tiger zone, this will be repeating. You can't deny this fact. If we earmark their area and not venture into their area, then we don't have such conflicts. And I have also seen some tigers being shifted from Ranatambur, thinking that as a man-eater to some zoos somewhere else where Shivkumar
Jaipur,
and
Jaipur,
whole
Jaipur,
group, huh?
Jaipur.
Udaipur, yeah, Udaipur Zoo. I don't know, because the whole lot of it is once a male tiger is branded as a man-eater and shifted to a zoo, you should also understand it has a family, it has cubs, it has his partners. When the next male tiger occupies that area, it will kill all the other cubs of that tiger. There will be a fight
Oh.
for dominance.
Hmm.
Everywhere it is there in the tiger fraternity also. But
Yep.
is it really man-eater? The answers are to be pondered. And I also saw somewhere a Maharashtra minister, due to pressure from some villagers for his vote bank, killed one tiger, I think, recently. Avni, yeah. See, why?
Hmm.
You have to inculcate, educate people sitting at the policy level, policy makers. We need to educate them. See, tiger will not kill anybody until it is what you say, until you poke at him, it will not attack you and kill.
Yes.
And tiger never consider man as its primary food.
Right. True.
So these are certain things where we need to go ahead and really all the crowd has benefited today, because the speaker, who is a international repute photographer, wildlife photographer, has thrown light on various aspects of the tiger and its social relevance to the human being, as well as in balancing the whole environment. Really, I'm thankful to you, Sheikh Kumar, for a fantastic presentation.
Thank
And
you.
also,
Thank you.
Dr.
Doctor,
Shashikumar,
Doctor, sorry to
throwing
interrupt.
more
I think Dr. Damayanti wants to talk.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah, hello, good evening.
Hi, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you so much for a nice presentation. Only thing what I wanted to ask you is, see, are these zoos required for us? Because as as young children, we used to enjoy going to zoo and seeing all these caged animals and all. But now even my children, nobody likes to go to zoo. And can these zoos be a place of getting more educated on wildlife instead of keeping some wildlife there? So maybe they see some animals are okay, but I don't know, somehow the zoos, is there any plan to do in something like that, some ways to make the zoos more useful? Because I don't think the wildlife should be kept behind the cages. That's the thing.
Definitely, madam. Normally says that only the innocent behind the bars will be only in zoos.
So what?
My personal, if you are checking with my personal view is there should not be any zoos. Okay,
Yeah.
but the animals which are already there in zoo, they may not adopt to the wild life as of now. Even if we leave them in the any of the habitat, they may not survive for a long.
Okay.
So because of that, the zoos are required as of now. Even whenever there is whenever there is a problematic tiger or problematic leopard nowadays, which is a more common thing, so those animals are kept in zoos, and even those animals are used for the breeding and all. So for that purposes, zoo is required as of now.
Maybe some, like movies, what you are saying, like how we have to save the tigers, or save that human conflict has to be reduced. Some kind of those videos can be shown, I think, in okay, they are coming to watch the more animals, but they can adopt some things to educate also.
Exactly. That's the idea behind. What we want to get into that. The zoos in India has to be a part of educating the people of next generation. What is the importance of the wildlife and protecting it?
Please start a movement and involve all of us.
Exactly. Exactly. That's the idea behind. There is an idea which is it to work out. because getting people from all the zoos in one particular point and getting this idea input to them itself is a big challenge for as of now for us. So we have started this particular thing, and there are in Maharashtra, Tadoba, we have already started creating a small information units where we show the small videos. There are a lot of courses have been placed so that the people can go there. They can talk with the forest officer or whoever the range officer there, and they can get whatever the maximum information. Yes, as told by you, it has to come to the zoo level so that people in the cities also get to know that.
Share some it is there so that circulate among.
Sorry, ma'am, I think
If
voice is breaking.
of it, if you can share it with us, any educative kind of a thing, like for our own like children and all the groups, like we can share them, like kind of.
Oh, definitely, I can do that. Definitely, I can do that.
Thank you, sir.
Pleasure, ma'am.
Yeah.
Thank you, Dr. Damayanti ji, for sharing your valuable thoughts. Now I request Madam Premlata ji, are you able to hear me?
Yes, sir. I'm able to hear.
Okay, kindly propose vote of thanks on behalf of Science
Okay,
of Committee. Okay.
Am I audible, sir?
Yeah. You are quite audible. Yeah.
Good evening to one and all. Most of us might have seen the tigers in the captivity as it is just now discussed. But today we were listening to one eminent personality, a wildlife photographer of international famous photographer, Shri Shivakumar Natarajan sir, who has spared his valuable time in presenting this very rare photographs and videos, because of which I think our students might have really developed a lot of interest. As he rightly said, their survival is in our hand. It's right, because if we conserve the forest, naturally the wild animals will not do trespassing. They will be in their natural habitats. Once they come and visit the places of human habitats, then naturally there will be conflict. So the conflict will lead to the death of the animals, and naturally their numbers will be decreased. He has given us an elaborate description about the early life, then the gestation, then the way how the tigers look after their cubs, and how to identify the tigers. Because even I have heard that in the natural habitat, even if we go and wait for several hours, it is very difficult to get a glimpse of the tiger. So I am very sure it requires a lot of patience for a photographer or who is passionate to capture their moments, especially seeing them when different timings or different what do you call, maybe they are capturing hunting or drinking water. So
Madam,
we were able to see all these.
Sorry to
My voice is not clear, sir. Now it's okay,
sorry
sir.
to intervene. One of the tiger in Ranatambur called Machli, I think, it had killed a crocodile. I think it had killed a crocodile, and it lost its one tooth, I think. Later, it two tooth, and it died at the
Age of 20.
At the age of 20, because it couldn't hunt, because it has lost two tooth of it. This was in Ranatambur National Park. And we also have Wagdo of Tadoba losing his one eye in territorial fight, I think. And even a huge male tiger was killed in a territorial fight in Bandipur National Park in Karnataka. So these are certain examples where we know how ferocious it is, and it maintains its characteristic features also.
And Machli is such a famous tigers. We have as a postal stamp commemorating Machli's lifetime achievement. And because of Machli, India used to earn around $100 million every year. The people who used to come to see Machli from overseas. And that to happen for 10 consecutive years, sir.
Shall I continue?
Yes,
sir?
ma'am.
Yeah. So tigers' life and its role in saving our environment. So since tigers are the predators for these herbivorous animals, which if their number is uncontrolled, they may destroy the forest. So I think this point is also highlighted. So totally it was very enlightening for all of us. I thank you so much, sir, Shri Shivakumar Natarajan, sir, for your for sparing your valuable time, sharing your experiences. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, doctor. Thank you, one and all. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Now, I thank Dr. M.S. Shashikumar, sir, manager of Delhi Kannada Senior Secondary School. Because of his tireless efforts, we are able to listen to these eminent personalities and scholars in these virtual meets during the COVID times. And I thank him so much for his encouragement in bringing the subject science and in general, encouraging the teachers and students. We are really benefited, sir. Thank you so much. I also thank our principal, Shri Prashant Kumar, sir, for continuously supporting us in conducting all these science activities. Thank you so much, sir. I thank all principals, vice principals, teachers, and students from the hubs of learning schools, Andhra School, Bharatiya Vidya Bhavans, Mehta Vidyalaya, and Kerala School. Thank you so much for participating in the program. Thanks to the convener of Science Committee, Shri Balbir sir, for anchoring and also for coordinating the programs to arrange this talk on Tigers Day. And I thank all my colleagues and students from Delhi Kannada School. Thank you, one and all.
Thank you,
Respected
ma'am.
all, in this
Good night.
way, today's webinar comes to end. I express my deep gratitude to all the audiences for having spared their valuable time. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Good night.